publike apo mund mbeten gjithmonë sekreti FBI-s, thjesht për të kuptuar më shumë?
If there's a public trial, the government will have to put a lot more evidence that it has and put in the indictment. It will have to have witnesses. There will have to be a lot of records that are provided for trial if that occurs. My suspicion is that it's in the government and Charlie McGonigal's best interest to come to a plea agreement. If there's a plea, there may not be much more information that's already been released by the government in the indictment that you're able to read now online. But if there's a trial, there'll be a lot more evidence that will have to be presented. And it's just my suspicion that a case like this, is going to be very costly. Charlie has been indicted not just in one jurisdiction, but two, which is noteworthy in and of itself. That is a rarity. Therefore, he would have two separate trials, and that would be incredibly expensive for him to defend and litigate. So that's why I sense that there's probably going to be a plea sooner rather than later.
Derisa të vlerësoj. Ndërkohë sa i takon akuzës në vetvete, pra që zoti McGonigal akuzohet se ka sulmuar si kundërshtarët politik të kryeministrit të Shqipërisë. Keni një koment për këtë?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Charlie, in my mind, was open for business. He was looking to make as much money as he could with whomever. I think he picked some safe people in the sense that he was, dealing with folks from your country that are not necessarily, we're not talking Russia, we're talking, countries that have good relationships with the United States. I think that, it's interesting to see where he goes with this.
A ka ndodhur më parë ku agjent korruptuar të jenë përdorur nga aktorë të huaj politik si qenë sulmues kundër kundërshtarëve të tyre politik?
Certainly not to this extent. I would think that there may have been cases here in the United States of police officers or FBI agents, but in more local politics here in the United States, but not on an international scale like we're seeing with the McGonigal case. I think from that regard, this is a pretty unprecedented case, if you will.
Ndërkohë, sipas medjave, zoti Lapp, zoti McGonigal mund të ketë përdorur aksesin e tij në FBI për të ndihmuar individët që ishin të caktuar si non grata që t'u hiqe emërtimi në shkëmbim të parave. A është e mundur kjo praktikisht?
Yeah, that's another thing where I think Charlie was over-embellishing his role and ability to do that. I think that, again, he's a small player in the totality of the United States government. He was a senior official at the FBI, but I don't think he had the leverage or the ability to even influence whether an individual is especially if an individual is taken off a persona non grata list. Now, obviously, when we're talking about intelligence operations, if that were the case, he would have influence on putting someone on a list, but taking someone off would be pretty difficult for someone in Charlie's position, and I think he, in this case, in my mind, over-embellished what he could deliver for folks in your country.